Hello, welcome to week 12, lesson 2, where we're going to dive a little deeper into slope, and we're going to look at slope-intercept form, the first of three different forms of a linear equation. So today you're going to be able to graph a linear function in slope-intercept form and write the equation of a line given a graph or a slope and y-intercept. So let's recap something that we've done in the past. And I'm going to show you how, if you understand what we do today, you're going to make this a lot easier. So here's a function. And what we did in the past was we picked x values, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, plugged them in for x to get the y value, and plotted the points. So 2 times -2 minus 3 gave me -4 minus 3, which is -7. And that would put that in the y spot. Did the same thing with -1, 0, 1, and 2. And we got 5 points, and we started to plot them. So -2, 7 showed up right there. -1, -5, 0, -3, 1, -1, and 2, 1. And we connect those with a line. Is there an easier way? Well, introducing slope-intercept form. So that's y equals mx plus b. Some of you may have heard of this. So m represents the slope, which we just learned in the first lesson of this week. The b is a new concept. That's the y-intercept. And that's simply the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. All right, so identifying the slope and y-intercept from an equation. So if I look at this, y equals 5/3 x minus 6. Well, my slope is the number that's attached to x with multiplication. So that's the 5/3. And it's okay. Slope being a fraction does not make it any more difficult, and you'll see what that looks like as we graph it a little bit. The y-intercept is -6. It's right there at the end of the equation. So let's go ahead and graph this one. To graph this, we don't have to make a table of values. We can start by graphing the y-intercept, because we know that the y-intercept is where a line crosses the y-axis. So it crosses at -6. I can put a dot there. The slope tells us how much we move from point to point within a line. So we can start at the y-intercept, since it's a point on the line, and count the slope. So 5/3, remember, is rise over run. So rise 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then run 3. So that's to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's rise 5, run 3, and put another point there. That's 2 points. I can draw a line through those 2 points, and there's the line graphed on the coordinate plane. Okay. Let's try another one. So the y-intercept here is 2. The slope is -3/4. So what we can do is plot the slope, or plot the y-intercept of 2, and you can see it showing up here. And now the slope is negative. That -3 tells me that I need to go down 3. So if I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, but then that 4 is positive. So I go to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and make my second point right there. I can draw the line between them, and there's my graph. Now we're going to take a look at horizontal and vertical lines. So y equals 3. It's a little bit confusing, but let's take a look at the equation a little closer. There's no x in there. Well, that means that there was a 0 next to the x, because 0 times x makes 0. So my slope here is 0. My y-intercept is 3. So the y-intercept is 3. That means it crosses the y-axis at 3. My slope is 0, or 0/1. Now what that means is I go up 0 and go to the right 1. And there's my second point, and look what I get. I get a horizontal line when you get y equals a number. So y equals a number makes a horizontal line. That's something you definitely want to remember. You probably guess what this one's going to give you. X equals a number. The slope here and the y-intercept are really a little bit weird. The y-intercept, this isn't y equals anything. Doesn't really make any sense. The slope is undefined. So, which I could write as a fraction, 1/0. So what does this do? So x equals -2. I'm going to plot that. There's no y-intercept. I'm going to plot the x-intercept here, which is -2. And I'm going to go up 1, right 0. And it's going to give me a vertical line. So x equals a number is a vertical line. Writing an equation given slope and y-intercept. So write the equation for a line with a slope of -12 and a y-intercept of 10. So I gave you the slope was 12. So m, slope of -12. I put that in for m. X is the variable that we just leave there. I gave you the y-intercept was 10. That's positive 10. So just put plus 10. And there's the equation in slope-intercept form. What about writing the equation from a graph? So we want to look and find, where does this line cross the y-axis? So first we're going to do is find the y-intercept. It crosses the y-axis at 4 there. So my y-intercept is 4. Then I want to find another nice point. What I mean by a nice point is where it crosses the grid line perfectly. So my cursor is pointing at that right now. So the slope is down 2, right 1. Now how do I write that? Down 2 is -2. Right 1 is +1. So down 2, -2, right 1, +1. So my slope is -2. And I can put that in for m. So there's my equation, y equals -2x plus 4. Okay, and that concludes lesson 2 of week 12.